moving up in weight has not been what Islam Makhachev has been expecting. I think Islam Makhachev initially thought, like, since he's taking so much energy cutting weight, that moving up in weight in turn would make it a lot easier. Like, I think he thought that, like, putting on muscle would be a lot easier. We just seen Ilia Topuria get to 155 and look really good while doing it. Ilia Topuria did a really good job gaining strong weight and good weight. There's a difference between getting big, guys, and, like, getting big the right way and the wrong way. Ilia did it the right way. We've seen it done the wrong way. If you guys remember Max Holloway putting on weight to fight Dustin Poirier the first time he went up in weight to do that, he looked almost chubby in the face and just didn't look like his physique was filled out correctly. In contrast, if you look at how Max Holloway looked against Justin Gaethje when he moved up in weight, looked a lot more solid and strong physically. Islam Makhachev is not trying to make the mistake that sometimes people make when moving up in weight, not putting on the weight appropriately, you know. And I think it's the right thing to do. But I think Islam's a little bit surprised about how hard it is. So I'm actually going to play you guys the interview where Islam talks about this. In this interview, Islam does mention, he does talk about how this wasn't what he was expecting. Like he thought it was going to be a little bit more roses and bubbles as far as putting on weight, but that's just not what his experience has been. So let's listen to what he's saying in this interview and let's break it down real quick.
Hopefully we find out soon and get some news here. What are you doing? What are you doing to become a welterweight? Like, are you bulking up? Are you getting stronger? Are you just going to cut less weight? How is this going to work?
I will try to be big. You know, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, it's my weight is stay same position. You know, I try to lift more. We do some program and like slowly we bring some maybe two kg right now, and it's very hard, you know, but I don't want to be big by food, you know, eating and not training. I want to be with like muscles, you know. I want to training, do like a right lifting program and bring some muscles.
Now, of course, in that interview, you guys see that he said he's gained 2 kg. But he says he wants to gain weight the right way and not the wrong way. He said, I don't just want to eat food and just be a fat guy. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys might think 2 kg is small. That's like 4.5 pounds, guys. And Islam's walk around weight being 180 to 183 region, I think like 182 is a good like estimate. He's about 186 right now. That's not necessarily bad, guys. So don't get this confused. I really made this video to kind of clear up some stuff. Don't really get this confused about like, oh, he's only gained 4. Oh, what is he, like 159? No, guys, he cuts down to 155. Now, 186 is not a horrible weight to be fighting at, guys, or like to be walking around at, because usually your walk around weight is going to be your rehydration weight on fight night. That being said, someone like JDM fight night weight is actually 189. So is JDM a little bit physically bigger than Islam? Yes, but Islam still has a lot of time to put on weight, and wait till you hear what I'm about to say now. Islam doesn't necessarily need to even be bigger than 186 to beat JDM. A 3-pound disadvantage is not a huge thing. Moicano weighed, I think, 2 pounds more than Islam, you know, but you couldn't really tell. Like, you couldn't, well, maybe because Moicano's a little bit rangier, but Islam looks stronger. Islam says he's putting on weight in the way to put on muscle. He's not going to Max Holloway max like the first time and get chubby, you know, going there against JDM and just like not feel his best. He's physically going to be one of the like peakest shape you've ever seen him in. He's going to put on nothing but rock solid muscle. Islam's a huge chat. Islam lifts very heavy. If you look at Islam's workout regimen, he be deadlifting a lot of weights. He's physically strong already. So gaining actual muscle on top of that is just going to sharpen his tools. It's going to make it that much harder for a JDM to go in there with the Islam and try to compete. Islam's grappling, in my opinion, guys, is going to be the best we've ever seen Islam in our lives. A stronger, bigger Islam. Just imagine that. Like, Islam, it's not like his skills are going to go away. He's just going to be a bigger and stronger version of himself, which is going to be very problematic to a Jack Della Maddalena now. Bilal Muhammad, his fight night weight, I believe, is around 190, which is like not as big as you probably would think, because we have people like Sean Brady who's 198. Honestly, Islam doesn't need to be that big for JDM specifically, but Islam did talk about in this interview how he's kind of planning on staying around at welterweight. It seemed as if in this interview, he was talking more about his plans of kind of sticking with welterweight in contrast to going back down to 155. But the thing with this is, if he's going to go against the Usmans, who probably fight night weights around 200, the Sean Brady's who are 198, the Michael Morales who he'd smoke, but they're like 198, 199. These guys are bigger guys, so Islam would actually need to gain an appropriate amount of muscle mass for them specifically. But as far as the Jack Della Maddalena fight, Islam doesn't really got to gain that much weight. Matter of fact, 2 kg is already enough. If you stop at 186 Islam, you're fine. Honestly, but I like the fact that he's trying to gain weight, because if he ends up having a weight advantage over someone like Jack Della Maddalena, JDM's kind of screwed. Like, JDM already in the striking is like, yes, JDM might have the advantage on paper. Islam can strike really well, guys. He's not a Bilal Muhammad striker. He's not going to come forward with like stupid pressure just to kind of volume max you. That's not how Islam fights. He's very strategic and accurate and precise with his shots, and he picks his shots well. He's a really good counter striker, and he kind of gets out the way of a lot and like tries not to take a lot of damage. And then people like bringing up the Dustin Poirier fight to kind of like justify JDM. Oh, well, JDM's gonna be bigger, stronger version of of Dustin Poirier. Well, Islam's gonna be a bigger, stronger version of Islam Makhachev. Islam's gonna be bigger than he was in the Dustin Poirier fight. And if you actually watch the Dustin Poirier fight, you can see early on Islam having a field day taking down Dustin like a real bad man. Like, I'm talking like at command, he was kind of taking down Dustin. He controlled him for the first round after first takedown entry. This is facts. And Dustin has good scrambles too. Dustin's a hard worker. Dustin's hard-nosed. Dustin's tough as hell. And similar to JDM, I do think JDM and Dustin have a lot of similarities, but people were trying to justify JDM beating Islam by saying, okay, but look how Islam struggled, by the way, He was up 4-0 and submitted him in the 5th, but I guess that's struggling. People are saying he struggled with Dustin, so therefore he's going to look at a JDM, he's going to struggle with JDM too. I don't think that's true, because it's going to be the best version of Islam we've seen. Now, we've seen Ilya, guys. When he's not cutting weight, he looked way better at 155, to the point where I actually think that Ilya wasn't at his full. Like, I don't think Ilya was 100% himself at 145. I think he was more like 80% Ilya. And then now that we've seen the Charles fight, that looks like 100% Ilya. Ilya going up after that, I think he's going to start like degrading him a little bit. And we're going to see the same with Islam, guys. Islam, like, he doesn't really talk about it. Like, matter of fact, even during this interview, they try to bring that up and talk about like his toughest weight cut, and Islam kind of just laughed it off and kind of like pushed it off because he didn't want to talk about it.
Now that it's behind you, was there a weight cut to lightweight that stands out as the most challenging one?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
And I understand why. He doesn't want to make it seem like he really struggles to make 155, because it's gonna make like, it's gonna give people like straws to grasp at. So say he does go down to Ilya, people are gonna be like, oh well, I know this guy sucks. Just trust me, I'm gonna beat them. He struggles to make this weight, So I know that's why he didn't say anything in the interview. He didn't want to give anyone fuel to use, because it will make him look bad and like make him look like he's struggling at 155. But I honestly don't believe that Islam's peak at his best at 155. The Volkanovski fight's important, because even though Volkanovski fight, they weren't allowing Islam to rehydrate properly when he was in Australia, and that's when Islam struggled the most. That whole rehydration process wouldn't be as bad in a 170 division, because he's not cutting as much weight. They literally try to kill this guy in Australia, guys. They try to do everything in their power to make sure Islam Makhachev does not get it done in Australia. But despite all that, the hard weight cut, and then like they not letting him rehydrate in a certain window of time, he still goes in there and he beats Volk 4-1. So I'm not really worried for Islam Makhachev. Like, despite what you guys might think about this weight, it's not going to affect Islam negatively. It's going to affect Islam positively, to the point we're going to see the best version of Islam Makhachev, that we're going to be so surprised, I think, how easy he might even make it look against JDM. I'm not saying JDM's an easy fight by any means. JDM's very tough, and I wouldn't be surprised if JDM gives Islam like a tough fight. Like, tough, not hard, but tough. Like, Dustin wasn't a hard fight. It was a tough fight. Volkanovski 1 was kind of a hard fight, because like Islam had to do a lot to like get that win. Against Dustin, he was kind of comfortably cruising through it, but like he was going through some tough moments because how durable Dustin is and how tough Dustin is, and refusing to give up. I see the JDM fight being a little bit more towards that. I see Islam kind of just being better than him almost everywhere and mixing up his tools so well, to the point it kind of overwhelms Jack Della Maddalena. But Jack Della Maddalena will be very stubborn and very tough, and he's not going to surrender a position. He's not going to give up on the feet. He'll bite down his mouthpiece. He'll make it ugly. He'll make it gruesome. And Islam knows that JDM's not a rose. Like, he's not roses and bubbles. This is not going to be an easy fight. Islam doesn't think he's going to just run through JDM. He's ready for a war, which is why I know he's going to perform at his peak. And yes, Ilya's power for pound number 1 right now. As far as the rankings that just dropped today, Ilya's power for pound number 1. But I do believe, after the performance Islam will put up against Jack Della Maddalena, he will claim his throne. He'll be back to pound for pound number 1, brother, And even in this interview, I liked how Islam was talking about Usman, because he was bringing up who Usman might be the next guy for the defense he's going to have.
They're all tough guys. And I saw some interview. Kamaru say something.
Yes.
It's going to be a tough fight, but sounds good,
And this all makes sense. This is all good for Islam's legacy, guys. Listen, him going up and challenging himself, don't get it confused with Islam going up and giving up size. Against other guys, he'll give up size, yes. Against this fight, he's going to fight for the title. He doesn't need to get as big as you guys think. He doesn't even have to gain weight. If Islam didn't even gain weight, came in at 183 and JDM came in at 189, yes, the size will be evident, but I'm sure Islam, who grapples with someone who like Khabib, who's like over 200 pounds now, he's used to going against bigger guys and stronger guys. He wouldn't struggle against JDM. Yeah, but Kenny, JDM's a better scrambler than Khabib Nurmagomedov. Keep dreaming, buddy. keep dreaming, buddy. These guys in Dagestan are big. They're strong, a little bit, maybe handsome. I don't know, brother. Maybe a little handsome, Islam's going to go in there, and I do think he's going to perform very well and surprise a lot of people against Jack Della Maddalena, simply based on the fact that Islam is not at his best at 155. Islam is going to be at his best at 170. Him moving up a weight class is going to do nothing but level up his skill and his attributes. We will be surprised in the result in the fight. Maybe not the result, but how effective he looks in the fight. And it's almost going to be like people are going to be pointing fingers like, how did Bilal struggle? How did Bilal just didn't have a good game plan. Like, people say it's cope when I say Bilal should have started wrestling from the first minute of the fight, but he didn't. He wants to wait till the later rounds to start doing once he realized JDM was not wilting to the volume of Bilal. I think he thought JDM was gonna be Sean Brady, like the pressure would get to him and he'd fold, but JDM was too tough. So I think the toughness surprised me too, to be fair. But I think what Bilal did that I know Islam won't do is that Islam's not going to go in there with the ego and try to strike. Islam will mix it up early. He even said in this interview, he's going to go in there and he's going to mix up the game plan early. You have to give JDM different looks like a Gilbert Burns, to make it interesting. Bilal trying to go in there and just ego max, it just wasn't the move to me. Islam Makhachev at 170 will be the most dangerous creature we ever seen, brother. Yes, creature, brother. A little bit scary, This guy good. This guy dangerous, brother. And I don't think I know, brother. I know he's going to go in there against JDM. He's going to get it done. So I can't wait for this fight. It's one of those fights I feel like going to be eye-opening to a lot of people. I get JDM has a huge fan base now because he beat Bilal, and now they beat Bilal. They're going to forget about the Havas fight, the Burns fight, all these struggle fights he has, the Kevin Holland split decision. They'll forget about all this because all they see is his last performance. And listen, I don't mind that. Glaze's last performance, but do not try to switch up after Islam goes in there and beats on him. Dr. Dre, hands on him, lots of base. But let me know what you guys think about Islam and his whole situation going up to 170. I do think it's for the better, and do not worry about the size as much as people are trying to push it as a crazy narrative. It's not a big deal. Islam's going to be at his best. He doesn't even need to gain an absurd amount of size. If he's just 189, the same weight as JDM, or even like a pound below or like a couple pounds over, he was a pound below or a pound or two below Moicano. He still went in there, looked way stronger. He doesn't have to be. JDM weighing more does not equate to him being stronger. Just so you guys know this. I hope you guys don't think just because JDM wins more, he's going to be stronger. That's not how weighing works. That's not how weight works. You could be 40 pounds more than someone and not be stronger. That's not how shit flows. But I do think Islam will need to put on weight as he gets through the rest of these contenders. But as far as JDM, he can go in however he wants. He's going to beat JDM. Trust me, because I said it. But that's it for me. Let me know what you think down below. And God bless. 2, 3.